This video is only for educational purposes. It's a tough pill to swallow, but there's a chance you could be a difficult person to get along with. You may not mean to be, but sometimes our actions speak louder than words. Psychology points out certain signs that indicate you might be harder to vibe with than you think. And recognizing these signs is the first step to making a change. Let's get down to it. Here are 8 signs, according to psychology, that you might be that person whom others find difficult to gel with. Take a deep breath, keep an open mind, and let's dive in. 1. You're often the center of drama. Psychology suggests that if you frequently find yourself in the middle of conflicts, spats, or disagreements, you might be the common denominator. This doesn't necessarily mean you're the bad guy, but it does indicate that your approach to interactions could be triggering conflict. 2. You struggle with empathy. Psychologists suggest that having difficulty empathizing with others can make us challenging to get along with. It can make people feel misunderstood or undervalued, and that's not a great foundation for any relationship. If you often find yourself struggling to understand or share the feelings of others, it might be a sign you're a little tough to be around. 3. You're overly critical. When it comes to forming relationships, a little bit of constructive criticism can be helpful. But when it crosses over to the realm of constant negativity and nitpicking, it can make for a rather uncomfortable atmosphere. 4. You struggle with active listening. Psychologists suggest that active listening is a key component of effective communication. It's not just about hearing the words someone is saying, it's about understanding their message, their emotions, and their perspective. If you find yourself frequently interrupting others, or simply waiting for your turn to speak rather than truly hearing what's being said, this might be a sign that you're difficult to get along with. 5. You find it hard to forgive. We've all been there, hurt, betrayed, or let down by someone we care about. It's a part of life, but holding on to grudges and dwelling on past wrongs can make us difficult to be around. If you're the type who keeps a mental scorecard of all wrongdoings, it can create a barrier that prevents you from building strong, meaningful relationships. It's like constantly living in the past instead of embracing the present. Forgiveness isn't about letting someone off the hook for their actions, it's about freeing yourself from the burden of carrying resentment. 6. You're resistant to change. Psychology tells us that being resistant to change can make us difficult to deal with. Change is a natural part of life, and being adaptable is important for healthy relationships. If you often find yourself digging in your heels when faced with new ideas or changes, it might be a sign that you're hard to get along with. 7. You lack self-awareness. Ever been in a situation where you're completely oblivious to how your actions or words affect others? That's a lack of self-awareness in action. If you often find yourself surprised by how people react to you, it might be a sign that you're not fully aware of how your behavior impacts them. 8. You're not genuine. If you often find yourself pretending to be someone you're not, or saying things just to please others, it could be a sign that you're difficult to get along with. People can sense when someone is not being genuine, and it can create an uncomfortable dynamic. Being genuine means being honest, open, and real.